Life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of ins and outs. But don't give up and don't feel down. Just learn to fly and you'll get by. But don't give up and don't feel down. Just learn to fly and you'll...
Birds can fly, but people can't fly. Repeat.
Birds can fly.
Look what's happening.
Again,
Professor
louder.
Tongue Twister is teaching a class in the park. A balloon is landing on the grass. Mr. Phileas Fogg and his butler Passepartout are getting out. Mr. Fogg and Passepartout are talking to the students.
So can I. Birds can fly, and so can I. Birds can fly, and so
The professor is taking off in the balloon. He is now travelling in space and time. He is landing in Sherwood Forest in Nottingham. Robin Hood is robbing the professor. The professor is giving Robin Hood his credit card. The soldiers are coming. Robin Hood and his girlfriend Maid Marian are now running away. The professor is flying off in the balloon.
Gold!
The soldiers are looking at the credit card.
What's this thing?
I don't know.
Neither do I.
Nor do I.
What's it made of?
Tin. Or paper.
No, it's neither tin nor paper.
Neither wool nor linen.
Nor is it wood.
So what is it then?
I don't know, but there is something funny written on it.
What is it then?
I don't know. I can't read.
Neither can I, can you?
Nor can I. But I heard well what the stranger said.
And what did he say?
Well, he said that if you put this thing into a hole in the wall and say the magic words, then money comes out.
What magic words?
No bees, no honey, no pin, no money.
What in the world is that supposed to mean?
I don't have a clue, but I think we should give it a try.
So do I.
So do I. Follow me.
Odd. Strange. Extraordinary. Amazing.
Thank you, Watson.
Extraordinary.
I see Scotland Yard still haven't managed to catch Jack the Ripper. Won't be long before they come to me for help.
Unbelievable.
What's up, my dear Watson? I can see that something is bothering you. Once again, I expect it's something to do with that book you're reading. Which one is it this time?
The Adventures of Robin Hood and His Merry Men. You know how much I enjoy reading crime stories.
I deduce you are reading that book for the 47th time.
Absolutely amazing. How on earth did you deduce that?
Elementary, my dear Watson. Firstly, because it's a very old edition. Secondly, because it's so dog-eared. And thirdly, because it's covered in tea stains.
Brilliant, Holmes.
And besides, yesterday you told me you'd finished reading it for the 46th time. So what is it that's bothering you, Watson? Do tell me. Something you haven't managed to notice before?
Right again, Holmes. There is something I just cannot understand. Why? For the last 5 chapters, several of the sheriff's men have been marching around Nottingham, poking a strange card into holes in the walls.
That certainly sounds interesting. May I take a closer look?
Certainly. Go ahead. Holmes, what is it?
I don't know, my dear Watson. I haven't managed to work it out yet.
I'm not talking about the book, I'm talking about this.
Not right now, Watson. I think I found a lead. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm close to the solution.
Really? What is it?
Elementary, my dear Watson. What do soldiers do when they're off duty?
How should I know? I was an officer.
Well, when soldiers are off duty, they play cards or write postcards to their girlfriends.
That's amazing. Now, why didn't I think of that?
I don't know, my dear Watson. I really don't know. But let's get on. What do you think medieval soldiers did with their cards?
Well, they dealt them, they shuffled them.
No, I don't mean playing cards, but postcards. Do you think they took them to the post office?
Ah, you can't fool me there, Holmes. There weren't any post offices in those days.
Brilliant, my dear Watson. You are making progress. Let's go over the previous chapter, and I expect the answer will be clear.
Don't worry, Holmes, I'll get it.
Good afternoon. My name's Tongue Twister. Here's my card. May I come in?
Certainly. How can I help you?
Is it all right if I park my balloon in your garden? I'm afraid I've already taken the liberty of doing it.
Yes, that's fine. I'm Dr. Watson, and this is my flatmate, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes? Do you mean the Holmes? The world-famous detective? That's fantastic. I've always wanted to meet him.
Not right now. He's working on a case, the Nottingham War mystery. His brilliant mind is just deducing why the sheriff's men were poking a card into holes in the walls.
Did you say a card?
Yes, a postcard.
All right, I have it.
Astounding, Holmes. Excuse me, please. Sit down. Now tell me, Holmes, what have you deduced?
Not so fast, my dear Watson. Let me first ask you a few questions. Are you ready?
For you, Holmes, I'm always ready.
So, tell me, my dear Watson, what would you do with your card if you were a medieval soldier?
Well, I would... I don't know, Holmes.
Where would you leave it?
I'd leave it in a secret place.
Excellent. And what secret place would you choose?
Maybe a hole in the wall.
Brilliant, my dear Watson. I'm really proud of you.
Oh, I'm so glad, Holmes. You know, I feel like a real detective now.
Gentlemen, what are you talking about? Postcards? Holes? Walls? It just doesn't make sense.
Just who are you, sir, to mock my powers of deduction?
No, Mr. Holmes. You see, I've just been to Nottingham and I met Robin Hood. And of course, he wanted to rob me, but I didn't have any cash on me, so I gave him my credit card. He probably lost it. The soldiers found it. And now they're going around Nottingham looking for a cash machine because they want the money. But don't worry. They won't get it because they don't know the pin. No bees, no honey, no pin, no money. Simple, huh? No bees, no honey, no pin,
Watson.
no money. No bees.
This man
no
is
honey,
clearly
no
out
pin,
of his
no money,
mind.
no bees,
You're a medical
no honey,
man.
no pin,
Can you
no
treat
money,
him?
no bees,
All right,
no
Holmes.
honey,
I see what I can do.
no money, no bees, no honey, no pin, 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 no.
Please, roll up your sleeve.
An injection. Tell me, Dr. Watson, do you still practice?
Don't worry. I'm so good, I don't need to practice.
Oh, my goodness. Just remembered. Got to put some money in the parking meter. If I don't do it, I'll get a ticket.
Parking? Meter? Hurry up, Watson. This man is beginning to hallucinate.
Trust me. As a doctor, I can assure you that this is good for your health.
Won't be necessary. I suddenly feel very much better. In fact, I've never felt so well in all my life. Goodbye, gentlemen. Goodbye. Bye.
Goodbye, Professor.
I'm impressed, my dear Watson. How did you know that that gentleman was a professor?
Elementary, my dear Holmes. Elementary. First, the glasses. Secondly, the bow tie. And thirdly, his accent.
Brilliant, my dear Watson.
Besides, it says so on his card.
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson. Amazing. Isn't every day in our life just like a lesson? And isn't every lesson just like a poem? Let's see what we can do to make this lesson memorable and unforgettable. It's time for a rhyme. Sherlock Holmes, the world-famous detective, had a brain that was highly effective. While his mind was deducing, his doubts kept reducing. And his logic was never defective. Out of practice, his friend Dr. Watson concentrated a lot of his thoughts on books and theatre and history, which to him were a mystery. And he kept asking, what's up and what's on?
Professor Tongue Twister and his students have decided to have a lesson in a park. A balloon carrying Mr. Phileas Fogg and his butler Passepartout has landed nearby. Mr. Fogg and Passepartout have stayed with the students, and their teacher has taken off in the balloon. On his travels, Professor Tongue Twister has visited Sherwood Forest and met Robin Hood. He has also visited 221B Baker Street in London. Where to now?
Life is full of ups and downs. Life is full of ins and outs. But don't give up and don't feel down. Just learn to fly and you'll get by. But don't give up and don't feel down. Just learn to fly and you'll get by. Fly high, fly high. Yes, you can if you try. Up and down.